We've got 18 days to the December 7 polls. Welcome to our conversation where we've got the Electoral Commission here in studio so that you can interact with the Commission. Director Electoral Services, Dr. Serebour Quaicoe, is here to take all your questions. What's on your hearts as we approach the December 7 polls? Doc, good morning. Thank you so much for coming in.
Good morning, my sister. And the grace is good for me. I hope it's sufficient for you too.
It is. His grace is always sufficient. So I wanted us to start from something that you've recently said, that we will get the results by December 8th. We vote on December 7, results will come in by December 8.
Yeah.
How is that possible?
That is in everything that you want to achieve in this life, you set a plan and prepare for it. So that is a target we have set for ourselves. And we've tasked all our officials to work towards it. So we are expecting that before we go to bed on the 7th, the districts and constituencies should have completed their work. And when that is done, by mid the 8th of December, the information should be hitting the head office. And one thing that we have introduced for the 2020 election, which is captured in CR 127, is that we also do regional collation. So instead of head office doing collation of 275 results, we will do 16 results. So the regions will do their collation, and the region will bring the 16 results. So regional head office will collate 16 results. So all things being equal, we are hoping that before we go to bed on the 8th of December, we will come out with the presidential results. Okay. After parliamentary, they are declared at the constituency levels.
So what kind of transmission system are we using?
We will use the manual transmission. The police stations will submit the results to the constituency. The constituency will send their results to the region, and the region will fax the results to us.
So unlike the 2016 elections, where I thought we used the two.
No, we use only the manual.
Okay. But I know that there are some remote areas where getting even materials there takes days. So how do we intend getting the results that quickly if we're using manual?
In the constituencies, they either use motorbikes, they use boats or canoes, they use abuboya, whatever. So each district has his or her own, officer has his own plan. You will know the terrain, what you need to help you achieve that target. So they are submitted their requests in terms of logistics, and we are working on that. Okay.
One more thing, the ballot paper, we've got 12 candidates.
Yes.
We've never had it like this before.
Yes.
So how short or long would it be so that to ensure that there's enough space and somebody's print doesn't get into the wrong box?
This ballot paper is the most well-thought, planned one. In between the candidates, you have huge thick lines so that no matter how your hand will be shaken, you will not stray into the next center. The only difference is that it will be a bit taller than what we are used to. And I believe we will be able to reduce the problem of rejected ballots. But we should also bear in mind that we shouldn't attribute all rejected ballots to ignorance. Some are from a form of protest. Some too have taken from 2 or 3 candidates, taken oath or had sworn to something. And once I've taken from 2 or 3 candidates, I have to give my vote so that I'm not caught by the gods. So some of them are not because they are ignorant. Some other they are protesting. Other they have taken something and they will have to satisfy all of them, or they come for the other ones, maybe ignorance.
So what constitutes a rejected ballot?
A rejected ballot is the ballot which you say that you cannot assign it to a particular candidate. One of it will be that it doesn't bear the marks of the commission, which may mean that somebody smuggled it from somewhere. One of it is that the person did not make a choice at all. He took the ballot paper and just put it in the ballot box. The other one would be that the person competed for more than one candidate. Another point is that the person has put it at the borderline. So you cannot say it is for candidate A or candidate B. So these are the reasons why we reject. And another one is that you are not supposed to be identified with your ballot paper. So if you go and thumbprint and write Serebour or Quaicoe on it, it should also be rejected.
Okay. Now, if the thumbprint is not fully in one box, it drifts a little, are you still going to declare that vote belongs to the party that had more of the prints?
It depends on how it is. And it depends on who's declaring the results. Because these things are between the Electoral Commission and the agents. So if it is put such a way that clearly you cannot identify the choice, the officer may have his or her view, but the candidates may disagree with him or her. So when it happens like that, the officer may say that I have rejected it, but the candidate, the agent will say no, we are also protesting.
Okay.
It will be sent to the constitutional office for the return officer to take the final decision.
Okay. All right. So we've talked about rejected ballots. How about a spoiled ballots?
A spoiled ballot does not enter the ballot box. When you are given the ballot paper, maybe it fell from your hands and it got soiled. So that if you are to thumbprint, you may be able to differentiate the thumbprint from the soiled. It's your responsibility to send it back to the ballot issuer. You root 2 lines across that and write spoiled. It has not entered the ballot box. Or in the course of detaching it, it was not well detached, so it has cut into the ballot. It will also be declared spoiled. You also go to the spot. You make your choice. But you realize, I had wanted to vote for party A, but I voted for party B. You go back to the ballot issuer, tell the ballot issuer that I made a mistake.
Okay.
You take the ballot paper, write on the spoiled, and you be given a new ballot paper.
So even though I have voted for a certain party or candidate, I realized that I made the wrong choice.
Yes.
I have not put it in the ballot box
Correct.
yet. I can go back to the officer.
Correct.
How often can I do that?
Oh, once. It shouldn't be a perpetual spoiler. So you did it once, you come again, nobody will. People think that you're just wasting time. So you have only one chance to do that.
Okay, great. So this conversation is for all of us. So kindly give us a call if you've got questions that you want the Electoral Commission to clarify. Number to call is 0302-211-6912, 0302-211-6912. My guest is Dr. Serebour Quaicoe. He's Director, Electoral Services with the Electoral Commission. So, Dr. Quaicoe, where are we with 18 days to the polls in terms of our plan towards December 7? Where are we?
God has been very good to us. As I speak to you, 2 weeks ago we gave the registers to the political parties. And as we have not heard from them, then I believe that they are in good shape. That's why they have not complained. We have also printed the registers, and almost all of them are gone to the regions now. We have uploaded the data onto the BVDs. They are also being sent to the regions. All these things are kept with the police headquarters, the regional headquarters, so that nobody can go and steal or whatever and do this. The ballot papers are also being sent to, I cannot be so specific, but I know about half of them are gone.
So are we done with the printing?
We are done with them, and we have even
started, both parliamentary presidential?
Exactly. And we have started, like I said, dispatching them. So we started dispatching, I think, Monday. So as at now, I couldn't check on them yesterday, but I believe more than half of the regions have gotten them.
Okay. Yes. Let's listen to Quaicoe, who's calling from cantonments, and then we'll come back to you. Good morning, Quaicoe. Thanks for calling.
Good morning.
Yes, sir. Please go ahead.
My greetings to you at the studio. And my question is, it has been circulating around that 30,000 people have been expunged. Their names have been expunged from the register. What would be the reason for this action?
Okay. All right, Quaicoe. Thank you very much. Very important questions. Let's speak to Abdul. Abdul is in Tamale. Good morning, Abdul. Hello, Abdul.
Hello?
Yes, Abdul, you're on air.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir. Go ahead. We've got the Electoral Commission here.
Please, I want to ask Dr. Serebour, or maybe, I don't know, whether it's question or just advice.
Okay, let's hear it.
The issue that we want to know whether how serious would they put their eye in this to us. Looking at this year, how the candidates are higher than the previous year.
Hello.
So, Abdul, so you want to ask what exactly? Hello, Abdul. I'm afraid we lost you there, Abdul. Kindly give us a call back. Daniel is in Jamasi. Good morning, Daniel.
Good morning, madam.
Yes, sir. Go ahead with your comments, question.
Yeah, I want to ask the commissioner. I was official during the assembly election, and since then our distance has not been paid. So I want to ask them, when are they paying the assembly election? When are they paying it? At one point,
When you say your disting has not been paid, what disting is that?
Hello?
The allowance.
Daniel.
Hello?
So, Daniel, you took part in the district assembly elections. You worked for the Electoral Commission, and they haven't paid you your allowance, right?
Yes.
Okay. Which area?
Hello?
Hello, Daniel. Oh, so, but Dr.
aware,
you got
I'm
it.
aware.
Okay. All right, you. Thank you, Daniel. We'll get you some answers. John Jerry is in Accra. Hello, John Jerry. Hello? Okay. Apologies there. Looks like we have some issues with the lines, but keep trying. So, Dr. Quaicoe, let's talk about Quaicoe. Quaicoe is raising the issue of the 30,000 that you've expunged from.
We have not expunged, but we have quarantined them.
Quarantine?
Yes.
What's the difference?
If you expunge, mean that you are not in the register at all. But quarantine means that you are there, but you are inactive. So you can vote. And there are two...
So you can vote, is that what
you can't vote.
You can't vote. Okay.
There are two categories. We have what we call the exceptions list. Now, when we compile the register, in the course of the compilation, some people's registration were challenged. Other, they on the grounds that they were not 18 years. They were not resident of the places they were claiming to be residing, or they were not Ghanaians. So when you are challenged, you complete the registration, but your ID card is not given to you. And you will be asked to appear before a committee. The committee is made up of the Electoral Commission district officer, who happens to be the secretary. Then the district police commander is a member. District Director of Education is a member. One traditional ruler, and representatives from the various political parties. And the law says that in the course of their functioning, they have the same powers as the district court. So they can subpoena people to come and witness and whatever. So when the challenger and the challengee, or the challenged, appear before the committee, each person will tell his or her story. Then the committee will come out with a verdict. So if the committee clears you that you qualify to register, your ID card is given you. If the committee affirms the challenge, means that you will not be eligible to vote, so your ID card will not be given to you. The law goes further to say that any of the two persons who is aggrieved about it can appeal to the Chief Registration Review Officer, who happens to be a High Court judge appointed by the Chief Justice to handle that. So if you appear before the Chief Justice, if you appeal, and he also uphold the decision of the committee, you are disqualified. If he overturns the result, you are given a card. These people have been put on exceptions list.
Okay.
And their names appear during the exhibition time on the exceptions list. And there too, the law says that you can go and also object your name on the exceptions list during the exhibition. And when you do that, you appear before the district magistrate, who also, district court, who also adjudicate on it and also take a decision.
Okay.
So if your name is on the exceptions list, which is about 14,000 now, that means that you were not successful in challenging your disqualification.
Okay.
Or in the course of the doing exhibition, somebody submitted document to prove that the person has passed on after the registration. So these categories of people, these names and people who were challenged are the people who are under exception.
Okay.
There are about 14,000.
I have lots of follow-up questions on this. So, but we have Inusa and Razak.
I was going to talk about the other side.
Yes, we'll come back and continue this. Inusa is calling from Kotobabi. Good morning, Inusa.
Yeah, hello.
Yes, Inusa, thank you for holding. Let's hear you. Inusa, you're on air. Go ahead, please.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Is this Inusa?
No, please, this is Razak.
Okay, Razak from Bole. Go ahead.
Please, I have two questions for the commissioner. I don't know, the names that are affected, the 30,000 names. Please, how will we know those that are affected? Because we do not see the list pasted anywhere. And should in case I go to the poll and my name is, no, I can't vote. You see, it will be a problem between I and then those people there. And my next question to you is, those that they are claiming that they did not register at the area that they are coming from, or they do not know that if they are guardians. Because I learned one of their laws was there's no cars to bounce people to any constituency to register. And since people could not go to their constituency to register, how will his workers, the officials there, get to know the citizens of that area?
Okay.
Please, I'll be happy if you clarify this one for me.
All right, Razak, thank you very much. Let's speak to Bismarck. Bismarck is in Tamale. Hello, Bismarck.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning. Go ahead, please.
Well, I'm enjoying your show.
Thank you.
I want to find out, I'm a presiding officer.
Okay.
If at the polls, a black person comes to vote, and the black person doesn't, he cannot see who to vote. What do I do at that time? But the person wants to vote. What should I do?
Okay, so you're asking if there is a blind person, and the person is asking for your help because they don't know who to vote for.
Yes.
Okay.
No, the person knows who to vote for, but yet the person cannot see
Okay.
the candidate to vote for.
Okay. All right, great. Good question. Thank you very much. Dr. Serebour Quaicoe, shall we start from there and then we'll come back to the list?
So the blind one.
Yes.
There are three ways for the blind person, visually impaired, to vote. The first thing is that we have taken them through the use of tactile jacket. Tactile jacket is a folder which opens with some knobs which serves as a braille. So when they are given the ballot paper, they will use the holes on the jacket to decide, because for each hole there will be corresponding knobs. So if the person is number 1, there will be 1 knob. If the person is number 2, 2 knobs, up to the 12 knobs. So you fill the knobs up points, then you trace it to the hole and thumbprint that you have voted for the candidate.
Okay, but this person is a presiding officer.
That I'm saying that. So there are 3 ways that the visually impaired will vote. That's number 1. The number 2 is that the visually impaired person can come to the polling station with a trusted person who should be at least 18 years, so that the person will cast the vote on behalf of the visually impaired. So the first one is to use the tactile jacket. If that one fails, he comes to a trusted person, but the person should be a Ghanaian, at least 18 years. Then if that one fails, then he falls on the presiding officer.
Okay. I know you do education. I'm wondering why a presiding officer at this point doesn't know that there are 3 different ways.
No, he's asking a question. So if I'm a presiding officer, it doesn't mean he's a presiding officer.
Oh, okay. So I thought
and
that
apart from that, if we have not finished training them, we have not finished training the presiding officer.
you're still training them.
Yes, yes.
Okay. All right. So shall we tackle Daniel's allowance issue?
With respect to Achumamponua incident, that's my district. What happened was that when you recruit them, they finish the training, they go into our system to key in the information about the vote, about the officials. But here is the case, unfortunately, the details were not captured, meaning that they did not enter the details. So it was when, in the course of the payment, that came up, and we have finished working on that, and hopefully within the week or 2 they should be paid.
So this is just an exception.
It's up to do. That's the best of my knowledge.
Okay. It's not because you don't have money.
I'm aware. Oh, no.
Okay.
I'm aware that case is there. So I've been working. And so that's where I come from.
So when would they get their money then?
Oh, we have finished all the arrangements, but bureaucracy. Because you have to be audited and also, but we have even almost finished everything. So Probably in the next 1 week, they should be paid.
All right, let's hear from Bismarck. Bismarck is my very last caller. Hello? Hello, Bismarck? Bismarck? Okay, we lost you. Okay, so Dr. Quaicoe, let's go back to the issue of the exceptions and the multiple. We've dealt with the exceptions.
So after filling that, so anybody who is on exceptions knows that he was challenged and doesn't have a card. So it's not.
So if you were challenged
and you were not able to overturn the challenge, mean that you are.
So what if you didn't go through the process at all? You were challenged, but you didn't follow through.
Then you have not overturned the challenge. So you don't have an ID card.
So okay, so that's 14,000.
Yes.
Okay.
Then you have the 16,000 people who have been put on multiple lists. And the 16,000, let me explain. If I registered at 4 different polling stations, I'll be seen as 4, but it's the same Quaicoe. Because the system will pick you here that you have done multiple registration, here you have done multiple registration, here you have done. So it's the same one person, but the person will appear 4 times. Then these are the people who have done more than 1 registration. So they are holding more than 1 card. And that one, if you are involved, you know. If you take the 220, the result that we have just disposed of, we did 6 different times of registration. And some people did 6 registration. So some people are perpetual registrants. You may say they were going to do registration, they are there. They don't care whether they have done it. So this time again, we did 18-day registration. So some did more than 1 registration. And when we did the continuous one on the 1st and the 2nd of October, some of them went again. So the system, the system is not networked. So you can register at Joy, go and register at Asempa, go and register at Adum. You get the cards. But when the system is uploaded onto the database, the system will use the biometrics to detect you. That will put you on the multiple list. These multiple lists, they said, were sent to the centers during the exhibition. So that if you went there, you would have identified your name. And the law allows you to challenge your name on the multiple list if you think you don't have to be there. Or there was a genuine error. Some people went there and they were able to overturn. On the day of voting, there will be the main register. There will be this multiple list again there. And in the multiple list, when you open, you will see your name, maybe at Joy FM, the date and time that you registered with your fingerprint and the picture. Then you go to so on your records, you see the different times that you registered, the type of clothing you wore, the name, the particular you give that maybe you are here, you say you are residing at this place, your father's name was this, your mother's name was, all these things will be there for you to so you can't argue about it.
Okay. So this list of the multiple registrants, I know that previously some persons have gone to court for that, but what typically, I don't know whether to say typically or in some instances what the court will do.
Okay.
If you say you're guilty, they probably will caution you and then they will ask you to choose out of the places that you've registered.
No, if you go to court, the court will give you a penalty because it means that somebody took you there. But if you went and challenged your name on the multiple list, that's where the judge will decide, looking at what you came, because you went the voluntary. So the judge will listen to you and maybe out of ignorance or whatever, then the judge will give a judgment. But if you did not go, then your name will continue to be there. So either you went and the judge upheld the decision against you, but if you went and the judge overturned it, you have been removed from the multiple list, so you are now in the main register. So anybody whose name is on the multiple list knows that. And if you go there, the list will be there on the day of election, so that you see. But and you have not deleted them, but we have quarantined them because they are still in the system.
Is it too late to challenge?
It's too late, because now we have already printed the register and the rest. You can only challenge during exhibition time.
Okay. So because I know that sometimes with the reasons that some people give in court, some will say, oh, I registered, but I didn't get the card, so I went to another place to register.
It is still an offense. And to interest you to know that some people have been imprisoned and some are still going to court. And I remember 24 people, they came together, collected their ID cards and said they were what do you call it, misled. So they want us to take the card and remove them from the registers. And we have done that.
Oh, okay.
They were 24.
Okay. Let's talk about special voting. When is that happening?
Special voting will take place on the 1st of December. And it's open to election officials, the media persons or media practitioners, and the security services, those who applied and they were successfully put on a special voters list.
Okay. Specific centers where they're voting?
Most cases, each constituency has a center, and they are mostly the district police command.
Okay. Those who transferred their votes, I guess do we have two categories? The students who were on campus when you did register them. Are you through with transferring their votes?
We did a transfer between 20th and 26th of October. The law says that not less than 42 days. So technically, you have to have registered more than 12 months before you can apply for transfer. But the CI 127 made exceptions to the students and the security persons who were on duty. So this is only due to the category of people who were qualified under the current dispensation to apply for transfer. So if we did that, then we have completed those. And it's that when you apply, you are successful, you are put on absent voters list on where you registered and put on the new register at where you want to vote. Again, if you apply for special voting and your name was captured, you have been put on absent voters list for 7th December, so that you no vote on 1st December and go and vote on the 7th December. So let me use your platform to tell people who have been put on special voting that if you do not vote on the 1st of December, count yourself out, because immediately you are put on the special voting, you are put on absent voting, so that you cannot vote on the 1st December and go and vote on the 7th December.
Okay.
So once your name is captured for special voting, please go and vote, else you can't vote on 7th December.
How many people are in that special category?
Special voting, we have 109,552 on the special voters list.
Okay.
For these three categories, electoral officials, they are very few because we had not completed our recruitment. So most of them are the security people and followed by the media.
Okay.
109,522. 552, so.
Okay. How many proxy voters?
I don't have it offhand.
Okay.
But proxies are normally, I think they're 200 and something. People don't patronize the proxy. There are few people.
Okay. All right. Dr. Serebour Quaicoe, with just 18 days, I know that we'll have some other conversations before the D-Day. But for today, we thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Is there a last IPAC meeting today?
Yes, we are meeting today.
This is the last time you're meeting the political parties?
Emergency meetings can happen. So for now, formally, today should be the last day. But some other issues can crop up that we can call for.
Okay. What's the agenda?
Oh, the agenda is about our preparation so far to the registration. So anything, printing of the register, we are going to demonstrate to them the use of the workings of the BVDs and the special, anything that has to do with the preparation so far.
Okay. All right. Dr. Quaicoe, thank you so much for your time. That's Director of Electoral Services at the Electoral Commission. Coming up next, a JoyNews investigation has uncovered the nation lost over $10 million in the procurement of points of sale devices for the National Lottery Authority, the NLA. Our team gathered evidence that the contract for the supply of 30,000 POS devices for the NLA could have cost less than half of the $25 million spent.